Today's class will study about two-tier architecture and three-tier architecture of a database management system. So this is how two-tier architecture of a database management system is organized. Right. So generally, in DBMS we have this client-server architecture. So a client is a consumer of services. Right. So we define a client as a consumer of services, and server is a provider of services. So in the case of a two-tier architecture, the database system resides in the server machine, and the client interacts with the database system through an application programming interface. Right. So he'll be using some system calls like Java database connectivity, JDBC, or open database connectivity, or Microsoft OLEDB, object linking and embedding for databases, by which the user will be invoking the database system that is present in the server machine. Right. So most users of a database system are not present in the site of the database system, but connected it through a network. Right. So in most of the applications today, right, I want to book a ticket in IRCTC. Right. So I'm not connected to the database in my machine. So I'm connected to a remote database through a network. So most of the database systems today have client machines on which the remote database user work, and the server machine on which the database system runs. Right. So whenever I do ticket booking, train ticket booking in IRCTC, or I check my bank account in SBI, right? So I'll be connecting with the database system through client machine. Right. So client machine is one where the remote database user works, and the server machine is one where the actual database system runs. Right. So in the case of two-tier architecture, the application program resides in the client machine, where it invokes the database functionality at the server machine through query language statements. Right. So the two-tier architecture, the application program is present in the client machine, and it invokes the database system at the server machine through some system calls. Right. So application programming interface standards like ODBC, open database connectivity, and Java database connectivity, Microsoft OLEDB, open linking and embedding for databases are used for interaction between the client and the server. Right. So this is the structure of a two-tier architecture. Right. So client is a consumer of services, server is a provider of services. So in the case of two-tier architecture, the application program resides in the client machine, and it invokes the database that is present in the server system by means of some API calls. Right. So the different API calls are going to be application programming interface calls are going to be ODBC, JDBC, OLEDB, and so on. Right. So application program interfaces like ODBC and JDBC are used for interaction between the client and the server. Right. So we have some program like Python or Java. Right. In our lab, we'll be writing some applications like Python or Java that will be residing in the client machine, and that will be able to access the database that is present in the server machine through some API calls like ODBC, JDBC, OLEDB, and so on. The limitation of two-tier architecture is that it can be used only for small applications. Right. So it cannot be used for large applications which involves which has to support many users at a particular type. Right. So we have gone for this three-tier architecture. Right.